From blending into the waves to emerging suddenly on the surface, legendary sea monsters have captivated our imaginations for millennia.
Nothing I've ever seen before, on land or in sea.
But what if these myths are more than just stories? Join us to watch the terrifying creatures from around the world that have made shocking and unannounced appearances. In June 2018, a beachgoer at Ballston Beach, Massachusetts returned to the shore to grab some forgotten belongings. As he stood by the water, a loud noise suddenly echoed from the sea. To his shock, a creature with a dragon-like face emerged from the waves. The man realized he was looking at a Chinese sea dragon known for centuries. At first, the creature seemed unaware of him, but as soon as it noticed his presence, it quickly vanished back into the ocean. Could these mysterious sea creatures be resurfacing, yet trying to stay hidden from human eyes? Strange roar. Chinese netizens captured a truly strange creature on camera. It started with a huge splash in the water. The creature that emerged looked dark and scary. Although its features weren't clear, its large horns led many to believe that it was a water dragon. In Chinese folklore, these dragons are really important entities, and when netizens watched this clip, they thought these mythical beings are finally revealing themselves to the real world. Real or not, this sight will definitely keep me out of water. Storm revealed a secret. In June 2019, a video posted online left thousands stunned by a mysterious creature spotted in the water of Michigan, United States. A witness captured the moment as large waves crashed against a bridge, and suddenly a dark, writhing figure appeared in the water. The creature was long, black, and moved like a massive eel, slithering in and out of the powerful waves. It wasn't a drifting log as it twisted and squirmed with life, heading toward the bridge's south pier before vanishing back into the water. Many believe it may have been a sea serpent, a rare glimpse of it hiding beneath Michigan's waters. River Missouri sighting.
Come out and have a look.
A guy was out and about near a lake in Sydney, Australia, when he noticed something far out, moving slowly. It was big and dark, gently bobbing up and down. Then a strange bony head appeared, moving slightly as it came toward him. Just before it disappeared under the water, he saw a fin and a tail. It all happened so fast that he couldn't understand what it really was. Whale or what?
What is that? See it?
A group of tourists found themselves face to face with an unexpected visitor while drifting on the waters of Ireland's scenic loch. They thought it might just be a whale, maybe one of the rare sightings known to happen here. But when it moved in their direction, one of them couldn't shake the feeling as this was no ordinary whale. They stared, unsure of what they were seeing. A massive dark back rose up, gliding through the water, then slowly dipped down again. Even as it slipped away, the ripples created on its path showed its size beneath the surface. It was as if the creature wanted them to know that they had entered its territory.
Is that a head?
Humps in glacier. Stunned tourists witnessed an unusual sight when a massive sea creature surfaced near a collapsed glacier in Alaska. At first, they noticed 7 black fin-like shapes sticking out of the water right in front of the broken glacier. 3 of them looked like they were connected, with 4 more trailing behind, almost like the creature was showing its front and tail. And then the humps moved in a way that made people think it might be different from any other sea creature. It seemed like the loud crash from the glacier had woken the creature. Here's the strange part, it didn't reveal itself fully, it just stayed hidden, like it didn't want to be found. Lake Van monster. In Turkey's Lake Van, locals have long spoken of a mysterious resident lurking in its depths. A teaching assistant from Van University captured remarkable footage of what witnesses describe as a 15-meter-long creature gliding swiftly beneath the surface. The sighting gained significant attention when even Van's governor confirmed the possibility of the creature's existence. Like Scotland's Nessie, the Lake Van monster is described as a long-necked ancient marine reptile, reportedly capable of incredible speeds reaching 200 kilometers per hour. Selma's come back. In Norway's Lake Seljord, a recent sighting has caught the attention of locals and visitors alike. People described a large, snake-like shape moving under the surface, with noticeable bumps along its back. This wasn't the first time such a creature was spotted. Tales of a giant serpent in these waters have been around since 1750. The mysterious creature, known as Selma, is so well known that it even appears on the local symbol. Could this be a sign that the creatures are coming back for us? You never know. Park lagoon sighting.
Something strange swimming in the lagoon, the city park. You'd see it there. No one knows what it is.
In early 2023, New Orleans' City Park Lagoon revealed an extraordinary secret. A family spotted an unusual creature with shining scales and an odd red tail, moving unusually slow across the water's surface. Unlike typical fish behavior, this mysterious being stayed visible much longer than normal. While some locals nicknamed it the Loch Ness Monster of New Orleans, others suggested it might be a modified carp. The sighting has transformed this peaceful park into Louisiana's newest mystery spot.
Nothing I've ever seen before, on land or in sea.
Territorial sea monster. A group of friends visited a quiet lake, a place known for a sea monster that guards its waters. These guys visiting the place decided to see for themselves and poured a bucket of water into the lake. But that's when things took a strange turn. Right where they poured the water, the lake water was disrupted. It splashed and twisted like something or maybe someone was right under there. It was as if the lake's hidden resident was alerting anyone who dared to disturb its calm. They back away, realizing they might have come too close to a mystery that was best left alone. Sea monkey.
Oh, hell no. That's crazy.
At a beautiful coastal sunset, a tourist captured more than just the evening views on camera. While filming the scenery, they zoomed in on an unusual sight, a strange creature repeatedly leaping from the waves. The mysterious being showed a combination of features, a monkey-like body with a distinct tail, and it seemed to hop over the water surface. Its silent, splashless movements through the water left everyone looking for answers about this potentially new species. Muckross monster.
And we've come across what seems to be a monster.
A group of friends were on a kayak trip across the calm lakes of Killarney when a mysterious creature suddenly surfaced and caught their attention. Its long, serpentine body was resting at the shore, covered in smooth, dark skin. The way it wasn't moving at all gave off a scary, prehistoric vibe. The group immediately thought of the legendary Muckross monster, known for its similar features. However, its smaller size hinted that it might be a young version of the famous creature.
Seems to be a little bit too small for the original Mucky the Muckross monster.
Culebron.
Look.
A tourist visiting Lago Ranco in northern Patagonia had a strange encounter while walking along a shallow river. As he looked into the water, a large creature with a long body swam away from him. Its smooth skin was visible, and he wondered what it could be, as this cold area can't be a home to big reptiles like crocodiles. He asked netizens online to help him recognize this creature, and they came up with different theories. Some believed it could be an unknown mammal that somehow ended up in the river. Locals have long spoken of a monster called Culebron in Lake Ranco, and a few were convinced it was this very creature. Chessie. In August 2024, in the peaceful waters of River Maury, boaters reported loud splashes and unusual noises echoing. To investigate, the authorities took to the skies with aerial footage. What they discovered was a large, serpentine creature moving beneath the surface. Locals thought this could be Chessie, the legendary sea monster of Chesapeake Bay, making an unexpected appearance. They wondered, knowing that by the time they got down, it would likely be gone. Florida's secret.
What the fuck is that? Go.
In October of 2013, a group of tourists was out on the waters of Florida enjoying a peaceful day on their boat. They had just stopped to check out some manatees when they noticed a strange sight in the water. At first, it was just a ripple, but soon, huge turbulent waves began to form. The water crashed with a force they couldn't explain. Whatever was beneath the surface was displacing a massive amount of water, sending powerful waves in every direction. They could feel it, a silent message, as if the creature was alerting them of its presence. They had drifted into its territory, and this mysterious force wanted them to know.
What the fuck is that? Go!
Iceland ancient creature.
How did the worm move when you saw it? What kind of movement did it make?
Para en su slanca.
Just like a snake? Like a
A
snake.
local fisherman in Iceland was going about his usual routine when a large, dark shape caught his eye. It was moving slowly just below the water's surface. For a few moments, he could see the creature's long neck and humps before it vanished back into the depths. Iceland has its own version of the Loch Ness Monster, and it's been known for years. The fisherman was sure that he had just seen it with his own eyes that made the sighting even more interesting.
My mother-in-law, she has seen the monster, for example. I don't doubt that.
Camera evidence.
Is there something mysteriously fishy going on in Sweden's Great Lake?
In Sweden's Great Lake, on a small stone island, locals reported spotting odd sea creatures. The news excited the experts, and they set up special cameras around the island to see what they could find. When one of the underwater cameras caught a strange shape moving below the surface, everyone was hooked. The footage sparked a debate about the possibility of a sea monster, and soon locals started sharing their own stories, leaving many to wonder if the creature really exists. They might have tried to catch it or learn more about it, but these creatures don't want to expose themselves openly. Lake Ghost. A group of friends was out swimming in the lake when they spotted a strange figure moving nearby. It was covered head to toe in thick hair with no face, eyes, or any clear features. They quickly grabbed a fishing net, hoping to get a closer look, but as soon as they caught it, they started to struggle as it was trying its best to get out of it. Finally, it slipped right through and vanished back into the water, leaving them confused. Now, swimmers and locals alike are left wondering about the strange, faceless dweller in their lake. Unusual bubbles.
And there's something just bubbling up from the bottom of the lake.
A man was fishing near the 150 bridge when he heard a strange sound coming from the water. At first, the water was bubbling and foam began to form on the surface, rising steadily in thick patches. After a few moments, he saw something even stranger. The bubbling spot changed. It slowly drifted across the water, heading toward the bridge. He checked for any unusual smells, but found nothing. This mysterious bubbling phenomenon adds to the growing list of water mysteries, leaving local fishermen and residents wondering, what secrets are hidden beneath the surface of their familiar waters? Strange behavior. While walking along the coast, a man found a pink ball-shaped creature wriggling on the reef. It was slowly moving, hidden in the shade. The man picked up a nearby branch and tried to move it. It looked like big red lips with a hole in the middle. Curious, the man poured some Coke into its mouth. What happened next shocked him. It suddenly spits out a strange liquid, spraying it right onto his face. It started swelling up fast and within seconds blew up. The noise wasn't loud, but it was enough to make the man freeze. So be careful next time you see an unknown object on the beach. Don't mess with it. Huge splashes. A guy was riding a paddleboard, enjoying the peaceful ocean, when everything suddenly changed. Out of nowhere, huge waves crashed around him and something bumped into his boat. Water splashed everywhere. He was confused and couldn't figure out what had just happened. Was it a group of manatees, or could it have been something else? He then thought it might be a kraken. This sea monster is known for its giant size and long tentacles, capable of pulling ships under the water. Luckily, he was safe as the calm water after the chaos hinted that it was gone. Dolphin calf.
Look at that.
In January 2023, off the coast of North Carolina, a boat captain spotted a dark creature swimming nearby, sparking a wave of online speculation. Some thought it could be the Loch Ness Monster, while others suggested dolphins. The debate grew as more people joined in, trying to figure out what it could be. But the mystery was finally solved. It turned out to be a young right whale calf separated from its mother. Peaceful rulers. In 2023, a family was enjoying their trip to the Black Sea when their day took an unexpected turn. As they sailed, they spotted two strange sea creatures swimming right beside the boat. These creatures had big heads that emerged out of the water with every swish, and they somewhat looked like a mix between a snake and a turtle, moving gracefully through the water. People on board thought they were Plesiosaurs, an ancient species known for being harmless to humans. Once rulers of the prehistoric seas, these peaceful creatures remained a mystery of the deep, leaving everyone thinking what they had actually encountered that day. Seneca Lake Secret. In Seneca, New York, locals have whispered about a strange creature in Seneca Lake for years, comparing it to Scotland's Loch Ness Monster. The mystery gained new attention in 2009 when A appeared, showing what seemed to be a long, serpent-like figure moving through the lake. The footage was filmed by a resident who had been keeping watch on the lake since his own sighting. It was recorded from two different angles, showing a large, shadowy shape moving beneath the surface that sparked debates among viewers. Could this truly be a Loch Ness of their own, or is it another mystery hidden in the lake, waiting to surface again? Geyser eruption. In February 2016, strange splashes were spotted on Worcester Town's racecourse. As the field was filled with water, it led some to wonder if the Loch Ness Monster had traveled into their town. The splashes came up to 10 feet in the air, and passers-by stopped to watch and film the phenomenon. It even changed its position, which probably meant that it was moving around under there. Although many have suggested that it was a geyser eruption due to an unusual amount of water filling the field, others were sure this was the creature letting its presence known.
Beached, that's probably 3 foot tall.
Prehistoric encounter.
Oh man, that's big. Never seen anything like it. That's gotta be like...
A man spotted a massive creature that washed ashore. It was far taller than nearby buildings. Its body was sleek like a shark with a huge tail and fins, and it didn't look like any animal people know today. The creature's shape and size reminded him of the legendary Megalodon, a giant shark known as Otodus megalodon that lived millions of years ago and was one of the biggest predators. This strange sight left him wondering if he had just seen a piece of ancient history come to life.
Holy crap.
Pier sighting.
There's another one there. Look at what is that?
A tourist visiting Lake Zolotlan in Nicaragua witnessed something eerie by the port. He spotted a strange silhouette crawling along the pier on its hands. It had an upper body similar to that of humans, but the lower body was more like a fish with fins. It was a mermaid. Unlike the beautiful mermaids of legends, this looked far more spooky. Before he could get a closer look, it leaped into the water, disappearing beneath the surface. Mermaids usually live in the coral reef, and spotting one at the pier is quite surprising. Scrimsley. A family had a truly frightening experience during their road trip when they spotted a strange creature in the nearby lake. One of them quickly zoomed in on the splashes it was making. It was huge, with a long body that almost looked like a massive serpent lurking below the surface. Though it moved slowly, its large size and strange, shadowy appearance were enough to leave everyone watching in shock. They were probably lucky. Stories of mysterious water monsters had been passed down through generations, and now they had seen it with their own eyes. Canine teeth. A man was on a night walk at the beach when his torch flashed on something lying on the sand, still and strange. He got curious and moved closer. As he stepped forward, the creature lifted its head. Its face looked like a dinosaur's, with sharp canine teeth. It had a long, smooth body, clearly built for swimming. The guy tried to figure out what it was. Then it clicked. It was a leopard seal. Sometimes strong waves or storms bring these seals ashore, especially if they're young or weak. So next time you're walking alone on the beach, keep an eye out. Bessie sighting.
What is that?
In August 2024, a lakeside resident was enjoying the view of Lake Erie when something caught his eye. A large, dark shadow moved beneath the lake's surface, creating unusual ripples in the normally calm water. Locals thought it was Bessie, the legendary lake monster that has fascinated people in the area for decades. Like its famous cousin Nessie from Scotland's Loch Ness, Bessie has been part of Lake Erie's history with reported sightings dating back to the 1800s. While no one has proven Bessie's existence, this latest sighting adds another exciting chapter to the Great Lakes' most beloved mystery. Farmer's freight.
Can't quite see. Oh, there it is.
A farmer was working in the field when he spotted a giant object in the water. At first, he thought it was just a big log floating by, but as he watched closely, he realized it was moving. Though its head was submerged, the massive body gave away its presence. It looked like the creature might be hunting something beneath the surface. The guy couldn't believe his eyes as the mysterious figure drifted silently through the water. Living so close to the water for years, the farmer had never seen anything like this before. This was truly a rare sighting for him.
We're gonna go see it.
Giant carcass. On a Vietnamese coast, locals gathered around a giant creature that had mysteriously washed up. With a powerful jaw, fin-like features, and a worm-like body, it didn't look like any known marine animal they'd ever seen. This strange creature was so large that it needed a crane to lift it onto a truck, drawing a crowd of astonished onlookers. Some speculated it might be a fin whale, although how it ended up inland remains a puzzle. In Vietnam, whales are respected as sacred, and when one appears, communities come together to give it a proper burial. Trident-shaped tail. A resident of Palm Beach Gardens recently reported an unusual sighting in the waters of Singer Island's Lake Worth Lagoon. She witnessed a creature with a trident-shaped tail thrashing against the water and a long snout breaking the surface briefly. As the news spread, people started to come up with different theories. Experts suspected it could be an Arctic seal, an unlikely visitor this far south, possibly driven here by overfishing or climate change, while some speculated it might be the long-lost Caribbean monk seal, thought to be extinct for decades. Whatever the case, it seems this rare visitor has sparked more than just curiosity in the lagoon. Unusual catch. At Malaysia's Losong River, two fishermen made an extraordinary catch when their nets became unusually heavy. Using a hook to investigate, they were stunned to discover what appeared to be a sea monster on the other side of their net. The creature's appearance was so striking that witnesses compared it to monsters from classic horror movies, particularly the famous creature from the Black Lagoon. This discovery left the locals to investigate what other unknown species might inhabit Malaysia's rivers. Lakeside moment. In Scotland's legendary Loch Ness, a tourist's peaceful lakeside moment turned historic. He was enjoying the view by a lake when he saw a dark shape in the water. At first, he thought it was just a shadow or something big like a fish. Who would think a sea creature would be in a lake? But then, a seagull flew down and tried to grab it. That's when he realized it was Nessie, the famous Loch Ness monster. It moved away, disturbed by the bird's presence. It seemed calm though, as if the lake was a familiar place to it. New hiding spot. A man went fishing by a river that was a spot he had visited many times, but that day, something felt off. The river, usually so still, seemed to hide something beneath its surface. That's when he caught a glimpse of movement. At first, he thought it might be a fish, but then got closer, and he spotted a humanoid figure swimming. But instead of legs, it had a forked tail, just like a fish. He wondered if he had just seen a mermaid. He had always heard tales of them, but this was fresh water, not the ocean. Maybe it's their new hiding spot. Champ Lake mystery. At Lake Champlain, a local saw a sight that couldn't be ignored. A massive dark shape broke the surface of the water, revealing a long neck, just like the famous Loch Ness monster. He was sure that it was the creature known as Champ, famous among the locals. It glided gracefully through the water, creating ripples before disappearing beneath the surface. This sighting adds to the long history of mysterious encounters at another one of America's lakes. Sea monster mystery. An officer rushed to investigate after beachgoers reported a strange, large mass washed up on Bonfil Beach on March 9, 2016. The shapeless gray mound was lying in the sand. Curious but cautious, he used a stick to carefully examine the strange object, while onlookers gathered, all wondering what it might be. Some thought it looked like a giant squid, others thought it could be a whale or even an unknown sea creature. The sighting proved that even familiar ocean creatures can sometimes appear mysterious when seen in unusual circumstances. Giant crab. A fisherman in Russia was shocked when a giant crab washed up on the shore. It was massive, about half a meter long, with spikes covering its body. At first, he thought it was just a big, strange crab, but then experts revealed the truth about it. This wasn't just any crab, it was one of the largest ever found. Paleontologists named it Titanochores guyanesi, and turns out it lived between 485 and 540 million years ago. Isn't it interesting? An ancient creature that still managed to surprise us today. Unknown creature. In 2016, a strange circular shape was spotted just beneath the surface of a lake in Ontario, Canada. The massive figure, nearly reaching the shore, was visible to those nearby. Some thought it could be a giant jellyfish, but the continuous bubbling through the water and the sunlight reflecting off it made them think that it was a ray. Its massive size and odd, round shape left everyone curious. People thought this could be something mysterious, perhaps a creature similar to tales of mythical sea monsters. Hairy monster, or what? A captivating video spread across the internet showing what appeared to be a terrifying encounter with a giant, hairy sea creature. The footage showed a man struggling with what looked like a monster trying to drag him into rushing waters. However, marine experts quickly identified the truth. The man was actually harvesting a large species of seaweed, and it showed how a simple natural phenomena can sometimes look scary on camera. Scotland mysterious creature. In Scotland, a lakeside walker noticed some movement in the famous Loch Ness. It was so massive that it barely fit in the camera frame as it emerged from the lake's surface. Many excited witnesses believed it could be the legendary Loch Ness monster, while others suggested it might be a lost whale. The shallow waters and the location made this one of the most compelling Loch Ness sightings in recent years. Underwater investigation. In 2006, NOAA scientists were exploring the depths of the ocean at 526 meters to inspect an oil tank when they captured a fascinating event on video. A submarine sent to investigate sinking vessels recorded a mysterious deep-sea creature using a spear to catch fish. This remarkable footage raised questions about what kind of underwater creature would prey with a spear. This mysterious behavior led some to wonder if it could be a type of mermaid. Although traditional stories often describe mermaids as beautiful, human-like beings with fishtails, eyewitness accounts suggest they look very different from humans. 100 tentacles. A bizarre sea creature with hundreds of moving tentacles left locals puzzled when it washed ashore on a Vietnamese beach. A nearby tour guide carefully took the dark brown alien-like creature and placed it on a green plastic table in a nearby home. Residents gathered around, watching in amazement as its star-shaped body twisted and turned, with long branches spiraling out from the center. Each branch had dozens of smaller tentacles, all moving in different directions. Experts believe it may have been a rare basket starfish, making for a strange but fascinating sight for the coastal town. Odd worm. A beachgoer was enjoying his day when he noticed an unusual object lying on the sand. It looked like a giant worm, nearly 30 feet long, that washed up on the shore. It was thicker than any worm he had ever seen. It barely moved, only shifting as the waves pushed it around. At first, he was confused, unsure of what he was looking at. Could it be some strange sea creature? Maybe even a monster? But as he got closer, the truth hit him. It wasn't a worm at all. It was just seaweed, tossed around by the ocean. Now, it's time for today's open discussion. Locals had heard tales of a sea monster hiding in the waters, so they decided to find the truth. They set out one day and to their shock, found themselves face to face with a behemoth thrashing in the waves. It was massive, its body slick and powerful, making it nearly impossible to control. They threw ropes over it, trying to manage the beast, but it was a struggle. Its sharp teeth only added to their fear, making each attempt feel more desperate. Despite all their efforts, they failed to control the monster. It broke free and disappeared back into the sea, leaving the legend of the sea monster to live on. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.